understand by procrastination?
Yes.
What's
Delaying work.
Yes, delaying work. Okay, so these students, right? I think they were computer science students, right? They looked at academic procrastination. What does academic procrastination mean? It means that procrastination that takes place in universities. For example, among school children, among secondary students, that is not related to the office work or whatever. It is delaying work that students are expected to do, right? So they are looking at academic procrastination among students of UITM in an open ODL environment. Okay? So, and when you introduce the topic, right, you take the topic from general to specific. That is the pattern. You arrange your ideas, right? The ideas in your head in a general way, and then you move on to specific. Do you follow now? Okay, look at this. So how do the students organize the idea? First paragraph, they talk about procrastination because procrastination happens everywhere, right? Everywhere. Then in the second paragraph only, they narrow down and talk about academic procrastination. Can you all follow me? Can? From general to specific. Like you talk about Malaysia first before you talk about a particular state. You talk about university first before you talk about UITM. You talk about food before you talk about nasi lemak. That is from general to specific. Like food, general. Specific types of food. Okay, for example, types of food, you have got noodles. Then from noodles, you go into specific type. Noodles? Instant noodle. Do you understand by what I mean by from general to specific class?
Yes.
Okay. So you see, like in this case, you see, look at this. Right. This is how they've done it. Right. So this is the writing and thinking style. Right. Start with a general statement that relates to the topic of the research. Right. So from general to specific, that's how you organize your ideas, right? So you will notice like to write this introduction, the students use at least 10 articles, information from 10 articles, right? So remember in your previous studies, you use information from 5 articles if there are 5 people in a group, right? If there are 6 people in your group, you use 6 articles, right? Like in this case, the students use for the introduction alone, you see that the students have used more articles. All these articles come from the literature review matrix. From the articles they have collected in order to produce the introduction. That means they take some ideas from different articles and they put together here. Is it clear? They extract information from different articles and they put it in here. So they organize the information from general to specific. Clear? Very good. Very good. So now, if you have understood this, so now you see. So general, remember this topic, academic procrastination. So they start generally by talking about procrastination, the concept. Okay? And you look at all these in green, those in bright green, right? Like Lay, Paul, all these are from literature. That means from studies done by other people, right? The definitions are not given by the students, but they have taken the definitions from different articles like this. Procrastination refers to the delay in starting or completing a task on time. Right. To put it simply, so, students often say in another word, remember this is wrong. This is grammatical wrong because one word is satu perkataan, only one word. So when you are explaining all these words, you see, underline so many words, right? So you say, in other words, right? Like, to put it simply, or in other words. You follow now? Have you made this mistake or not, class? Have you ever said in other words?
Yes, yes.
Now you know, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you see, there are so many words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so many words there, about 20 words there. So we must have the in other words. When you see the word other, more than one. So you must have S there. All right, in other words, okay, it is the act of putting off a task, right? You see procrastination, right? Putting off a task. See, same. You see, look at this word here, procrastination. All right, meaning putting off. You see, using different words, right? Putting off a task or an activity. You see, look at this, a task, right? A task. Then look at this, a task or a responsibility. You see? You see how the ideas are expressed, right? Right. So this here only one task, but here, putting off a task or an activity or responsibility that is often bound by a deadline or a due date in work settings, right? In work settings, right? We just say, right, in work settings. All right, I can say, however, see, I can put it in so many ways. Instead of using but, I say, however. It also happens in many spheres of life. You see or not? You notice that how the definition given by Lei has been rephrased, explained using other words. Right. So now, this is the first definition. Second definition, according to Paul, procrastination is defined, okay? How do you know? Seen through action. Seen through the action, you see, action of someone is defined as the resistance to, don't want to do, right? Doing something for some reasons due to fear. What kind of fear? A fear of failure or a fear of rejection, right? When does this fear come about? This fear can be experienced when someone tells the person what to do and when and how. Or when, you see, when. Okay, now, when and how he needs to do the work. See it not? Now, when the job is tedious, boring, right, not inspiring or difficult, people tend to procrastinate. If one's self-confidence is low, because the work seems harder or beyond his or her ability, he can procrastinate. Right. Okay, so now, procrastination right, the person procrastinates. So do you see that now? What have you learned from this paragraph, class? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, right. Look at this, yeah? I look at okay, here. Yeah, you can put here. if we take anything from another article, we have to change the sentence, right? Yes, you have to try to do that. This is called paraphrasing, right? Someone told we can take without change. No, you cannot take that. If you want to take it without, okay, if you say that, try, for example, right? 2021, okay, states, students must need to paraphrase their, right, paraphrase, or need to try to express ideas in their own words. Okay. You see how if you like Nasita, just now you said we can take it without changing the sentence. What happens?
Plagiat.
You see this one? You see? Look at this. So you have to use, if you don't change anything, if you don't change the sentence, change right. The sentence, the words, right? The sentences. Right. Then you have to use inverted commas like that. And then, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Do you understand also? For example, like brown, 2022, or sorry, 2020, like that. Is it clear?
Clear.
Yeah. So you see, but if you don't do this, you see here, have we done this? You look at paragraph 1. Has a student quoted directly in paragraph 1? Right. Has the writer, has the student, right, quoted directly? No, right? No, right? So the student is using his own words, but the same idea. Okay, if it is exactly from the same idea, what do you do? What do you do if it's exactly from the same idea? Now, like that. Then you have to put, okay, what page? Lay. Like that. You follow? Do you see or not?
Yes, madam.
Have to do like that when madam.
When you take from the person, the writer, that means you don't change anything.
Oh, directly.
So if we change, we don't put.
Don't need to put a page.
Oh, alright.
Oh,
That.
Faham?
faham.
Yeah, faham.
Yeah, now you understand, right? So, for example, like this one, no, the student didn't, right? So we cannot do that. For example, like that, you see? Like that. What does it mean here? Like, for example, like this one, let's take the example from Paul, the second one, according to Paul. Okay? Defined as a noun. Okay? What do I do? What do I have to put?
Page.
Like that, you see? So do you understand now? Right. So that means that if you take directly from the author, you have to put the page reference. Cannot just do like that. Like that, you see? Like that cannot. This is bad. I'll cut marks. Pull up marker. Do you follow? Is it clear or not, class? This is what we mean by citation, class. How do you use references? If you want to take directly, you must say from what page. If you don't say the page, you don't state the page, then you have to try to understand first and then put in your paragraph. Any
Understood.
questions?
Understood.
Very good. Okay. So very good. Okay. So now let's you see like that because this is the students didn't do that, so we should not try to do that for the student. Okay. So that means the student here is trying to here what the student has done is the trying to reword. So what is this paragraph about, class? You see, now if I look at here clean. Now you see now. Look at the introduction here. This is a clean version. Can someone read the clean version? This one, just this paragraph.
Read the paragraph.
Yeah,
Is
just
it?
first paragraph.
Procrastination refers to the delay in starting or completing a task on time. To put it simply, it is the act of putting off a task or an activity or a responsibility that is often bound by a deadline or a due date. Very common in work settings, but it also happens in many spheres of life. According to Paul, procrastination seen through the action of a person is defined as the resistance to doing something due to fear. Often a fear of failure or a fear of rejection. This fear can be experienced when someone tells the person what to do and how he needs to work. When a